woman that the sperm fertilizes the egg. Tapos iba yung implantation. Kasi yung fertilized egg, bumalakad yan, lilipat yan doon sa womb. Ang tawag yan implantation, but it takes about 5 days after fertilization. Now, ito importante. Yung mga nagpo-promote ng RX, gusto nilang mabuhin ang definition ng conception when the start begin. Sa kanila, they want life to begin at implantation. But then again, this is not provided for in the Constitution as already explained by Chief Justice Pangilinan. Kaya meron sasabi sa inyo na life begins at implantation. Pakisabi sa kanya, mali yan sapagkat that is not constitutional as explained by very clearly by the Constitution and as explained by Douglas the former Chief Justice as well as the constitutionalist Father Joaquin Bernas. Ngayon, bakit importante ito? Alam niyo kasi, nung nauso ang contraception, mga bandang late 60s, that was the time when some medical group redefined conception. Sa halip na feminization, redefine nila, ginawa nila implantation. Why? Para mag-justify yung paggamit ng contraceptives, lalo na yung morning after. Kasi yung morning after pills, ang ginagawa niya, dinidissolve yung fertilized egg. It becomes an abortifacient already, which is, by the way, going to be considered illegal by my House bill. In fact, it is unconstitutional. Another definition of abortifacient is any device, medicine, substance, practice which may damage, injure, interfere, or recklessly endanger, or cause expulsion or death of the unborn child. At politiko, at yung sabihin ng unborn child, the fertilized egg is already considered the unborn child. Pero yung mga those in favor of RX, gusto nila implantation para makalusot yung mga contraceptives, makalusot yung IUD. Ano yung IUD? It prevents the passage of the fertilized egg to the womb, which is going to be considered illegal in my House bill. Tapos marami ng provision, protection against abortive acts, extent of protection, prohibited acts and penalties. Alam niyo ang penalty ng batas ko, it's not a very harsh law. Pero meron din penalty kasi hindi mo pwedeng mag-prohibit tayo ng walang penalty. The penalty is only 1 month to 6 months imprisonment or a fine ranging from 10,000 to 50,000 pesos or both. Okay, ngayon, usapan natin yung reproductive health. Reproductive health. Parating sinasabi, ng mga proponent ng reproductive health, nagkaroon lang ng survey sa buong Pilipinas. Tinanong ang mga tao, are you in favor of sa reproductive health bill? 90% ng mga tinanong, ang sagot, hindi ko pa alam yan, hindi ko pa nabasa yan. Pero, ang ginagawa nila, tinuloy pa rin yung survey. So, my question is this, how can anyone who has not read the RX bill have an informed, educated opinion on the RX bill? Kaya ba, when you have that mix sa bill na hindi nyo nabasa? Of course, hindi. Ang sagot, pasensya na po, hindi ko pa nabasa yung bill yan, wala akong opinion. But then of course the question is this. Pag tinanong kasi, are you in favor of reproductive health? Siyempre, sino naman ang kontra sa reproductive health? Di ba pag sinabi natin reproductive health, ibig sabihin para sa lalaki, malakas yung sperm niya, they do not realize that the term reproductive health, if you examine the reproductive health bill, practically all of the provisions of the bill are designed to prevent reproduction, not to encourage reproduction, but to prevent reproduction. Kasi parang pinag-usapan doon, contraceptive, condom, IUD, etc., etc. So tama naman sabihin na reproductive health yan. Dapat reproductive health, pantay. Kung gusto mo magkaanak, at kung gusto mo huwag magkaanak, dapat pantay. But if you read the reproductive health, it's all about preventing reproduction. That's why, kung kumakay sa mga proponent, bakit hindi nyo malitan? Gawin yung contraceptive bill yan, parang klaro. Okay, tawagin yung contraceptive condom, basay ko eh, and adding the bill. Ayaw mo nila. Kasi siyempre, negative yun natin. Pag sinabi ng contraceptive, you ask people, are you in favor of condom and contraceptives? I'm very sure. Dahil hindi ako 60-70% ang mag-uulan. Now, during my interpretation of the component of the bill, kasi ang parang na sinasabi, mahirap na yung maraming bata. Hindi raw dapat bawasan yung mga bata. Dapat daw, bawasan yung population natin. And of course, kung sinabi nila bawasan yung population, ang parang sinisisi nila, yung mga mahihirap, yung maraming anak. That's why this bill really targets the poor families. Dahil sabi nila, sila yung dahilan kung bakit nahirapan ang ating economy dahil masyado maraming bata. But then I asked them, how do you look at children? Are they assets or liabilities? Nakakatulong ba o nakakasama sa bayan? Ayaw nila sagutin. They don't want to answer that question. But actually, if you listen to them, they consider children as liabilities because their children are expenses. Na dapat mabawasan ng anak. So during the interpretation, pinakita ko ng picture nito doon sa proponent ng bill. Ito, kinuha itong picture doon sa distrito ko sa Paranaque. Mga bata ito, mga pahirap ng mga bata. Sabi ko, kung sa tingin ko dapat mabawasan yung dami ng mga bata sa Pilipinas, pakitulong na sa akin kung sino sa mga bata ito ang hindi dapat pinanganak. Pakitulong yung